Hey, welcome. Let's start this video by talking about you. So if you run, own, manage a service-based company, if you and your team feel like you're just constantly juggling all the incoming calls, emails, inquiries, people standing right in front of you asking questions, following up with leads, if you are technically successful, but you just don't feel it because you feel like everything's pretty chaotic, balls are dropping, leads are falling through the cracks. And if you've been kind of thinking about AI and automations, but you're like, I don't know, I don't want to add things in and feel robotic and lose the personal touch, this video is probably for you. Also, hi, by the way, I'm Katie. I own Digitally Enhanced Marketing. We are an agency that helps service-based companies create marketing that works for them even when they're not. We help clean up these issues and we help business owners finally feel like they can breathe by taking things off their plate. So I'm excited. Let's get into it. This video is going to walk you through some of our very simple but really effective automations that we've seen help clients save at least 10 hours a week, sometimes even 15 to 20. So it's about to make your life a lot easier. And then on top of it, like, you don't really need to be a tech guru to figure this out. It's so intentionally simple. We help you figure out how to infuse yourself into it so you still have your heart and soul. You don't feel like a robot, and your current clients, your prospective clients, still feel like they're getting the best service from you without you and your team having to actually remember to serve all of them. So let's start with the crux of service-based industries and why you in particular are probably feeling pretty overwhelmed. It is a blessing and a curse that in the service-based industry, it's built around the service part, which is wonderful. You love your clients, they love you, but as you grow and as you scale, it just kind of gets overwhelming serving your current base, following up with prospective clients and leads, making sure everyone has what they're looking for, making sure your team is equipped, making sure all your tools and systems are talking to each other. It's too much, and it's totally fair. So when people come to us, what we often find has happened is they've hired the team, they've invested in the tools and services, they did all these things with the intention that it was going to make their lives easier, but it's now just become way more messy, way more chaotic. No one really has any idea what's going on. Everyone feels like they're juggling all the balls, and things are just falling through the cracks. And so obviously, like you found in the title, you know why you're here, you know what we're going to talk about. But if you're anything like clients that kind of come to us at this phase, you might be interested but still a little apprehensive. So let's talk about it, because I think we can't even talk about the solution until we kind of cleared the worry of what might be coming up for you. So when talking to prospective clients at this point, a lot of things that start to bubble up are this like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to add another tool? How's it going to interact with everything else we have going on? I don't have time to learn this. I don't have time to do this. Well, does anyone on my team know how to do this? Probably not. If I can't do it, who's going to train them? And how are we going to manage all of this? We also kind of get a lot of questions like, how is this going to work? Just period. How's this going to work? How are we going to do this? And then also like, well, my experience, like when I am talking to robots, like if I know I'm talking to robots, I kind of hate it. So my clients are going to hate it. So like, maybe I shouldn't even do this. Maybe we'll just stick to what we have, because at least we're in control at this point. So if any of those things felt like you, if you had any of those questions pop up, totally get it. That's totally fair. Those are all valid questions, comments, concerns. So like, let's just kind of go through them one by one. So first things first, you're worried about adding another tool into your system. Every time you tried to add something in to fix something, you just made it more complicated, more messy. This is intentionally designed to work with the tools that you already have. So if you have an email program, it's going to fit into that. If you have a CRM, it's going to fit into that. If you use anything else to kind of send text messages, it fits into that intentionally. Like, we designed this so you could just kind of take this model and put it into your existing tools, not buy a new tool to do this. If you're thinking, I don't even have time to learn how to do this, like, totally get it. These are designed to be as simple as writing an email or a text message. Taking that one step further, if you go into the description, we literally have our copy and paste. You don't even have to write it. You should edit it and make sure that it's relevant to your business, but like, you don't even have to write it if you don't want to. So it's really just plug and play, copy and paste, go forth and prosper. For those of you who are like, okay, so I have to learn this and I need to train my team, like blah, 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 hear that too. Again, these are designed to actually take you and your team out of the equation strategically without losing any quality or customer service or that personal touch. But the whole point of this is to not bring your team into it. And then the biggest one, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't want to feel like a robot. I don't want to lose my heart and soul, the personal connection. I get that. Your vibe is one of your biggest attributes, honestly, when people are looking for who they want to work with or which company they want to work with. So, like, I don't want you to lose that either. And that's why what you do and why these are so powerful is because you take the formula, but then you infuse you. You put yourself into the automation. So your style, your tone, the way you say things, like your overall vibe, and just je ne sais quoi, like that's really what makes these effective. Okay, so let's get into it. Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit better of like, this is intentionally so simple, supposed to feel so like you. So let's add you into it now. For this example, we're going to walk through a pretty common process that you probably have in place. And it's the whole inquiry incoming process. So it probably looks something like this. You get a new inquiry, a new lead through your website, a contact form, DM, email, phone call, wherever the case may be. And then you, your front desk staff, your personal assistant, whoever the case may be, your VA, it has to take the time to go figure out what the person needs, what they're looking for, what questions they have, and kind of walk them through the next step. So is it that they need to get more information? Is it that they need to set up a call with you? Is it that like you actually don't have any of those things and they could probably just buy if they just knew where to buy the thing? You then kind of figure out the next steps. You work with them to take the next step, and then they either take it or they're not yet ready to take the next step. Either way, totally fine. They might need to think about it. I get it. No worries. Depending on which they choose, they're ready to take the next step. They buy the thing, they have the consult call with you, they they join the membership, they buy the service, or they're not, and that's okay. And so maybe you point them towards additional resources. Maybe they just need to be warmed a little bit further. You put them on your email list so they can kind of stay in your orbit without that pressure of like buy now. And then you fast forward a little bit. Maybe they're in your orbit, they're in your email, they're following you on social, and they're going to choose to buy on their own. Or maybe you now have them in your system of like, okay, follow these steps, kind of qualify them a little bit more, check back in, see if they're ready. And then depending on which route they went, it all becomes a game of like, okay, did they sign up? How did that sign up process go? Did they show up? Did they not sign up? Are they in our nurture sequence? What kind of client are they going to be? If they only come in once, how do I get them to come back? You are probably thinking through all the questions that pop up at this phase because you know your business best. You know the cycle. You know what you're thinking about when someone new signs up with you, or like they're kind of in your orbit still vetting you and figuring out if they're ready to work with you. And all that to say, this was just one prospective client, not even a real client yet. So scale that out. You obviously know how much time this is taking, but scale that out. And as your business grows, as more leads are coming in, think about how much time this is taking for you and your team. You probably know it because you're either feeling stressed or your team's feeling stressed, being like, I just am like spinning my wheels chasing these people around, trying to like get them what they need and hope that they sign up. Or once they sign up, make sure they have the best experience possible. And that's why so many of our clients are like, this saves us at least 10, if not 15, 20 hours a week. Because again, take that one, scale it out. That's a lot of time chasing down people and making sure that you're serving them the best way you can. Okay, so let's fix that. And let's start to talk about the one implementation, or I'm sorry, the one automation that you can put in that really starts to change everything. So if we take this example, I want to walk you through step by step how we automate this process so that A, it works, B, you're continuing to serve these people in the best way possible, and C, you're intentionally infusing yourself into it so you're not sacrificing the experience for something that feels robotic and just like not you, not your vibe, not what you stand for. Okay, so we're gonna keep the same example. And then just to simplify it, we're gonna say that this all started with an inquiry that came in from a contact form on your website. Just know that like we also do use AI voice, phone answering systems, text messages so that we can continue to have AI and automations in place that come in through other channels. But because this is step one, we are going to focus on an inquiry came in from your website, a contact form. Okay, so right now, inquiry comes in, the form comes in, and you have to have someone manually looking at it, being like, who's this person? What do they need? How can I help them? Where do I point them to? What if instead you had the automation in place and even like an automatic redirect on your website that said, thanks for filling out the form. Also, side note, at that point, you have their contact information, which will come into play later down the line, and then automatically redirected to a page that said, okay, take the next step. So schedule free consultation, buy this package, whatever the case may be. To make your life easy, let's say schedule free consultation. They can then immediately take it, on that page without having to talk to someone. In addition to that, we often will set up an email automation, at least if not email plus text, saying, hey, got your form, thanks so much, here's where you schedule your free consultation. Again, links right there, super quick and easy, happens instantaneously. At this point, they can go one of two routes. Either they take it, they schedule it, and so at that point, we automatically kick in our confirmation and reminder workflow and automations that say, congratulations, thanks so much. We're looking forward to talking to you. We then send that in an email and a text message, and we differentiate it based off length and level of details for each channel, but it instantly goes out and says, great, here's your details, here's when we're talking to you, here's where we're talking to you, here's the link to put it on your calendar, can't wait to talk to you. We then also schedule reminders one day out, and then like one day prior to that call, and then also an hour, 20 minutes, 2 hours, depending on what the client needs, to help eliminate no-shows. Now, let's say that they didn't take that action. We then have what in the industry is called a cart abandonment, but basically something to catch these leads of like, hey, we already know that you filled out the form, you're kind of interested, you didn't take the next step, no problem, like maybe things happen. We then, at the 20-minute mark, we simultaneously send an email and a text message because, again, we have their information and they consented to receiving emails and text messages from us when they filled out the initial contact form. So at the 20-minute mark, our system says they didn't schedule it. That should be plenty of time to schedule it. We'll then send an email right away and be like, or in 20 minutes that says, hey, saw that you haven't booked yet, no worries, like here's where you book it, can't wait to talk to you. Send that in email, send that in text message. If they then do it, it then goes into the confirmation automation that says, great, you booked it, here's all the details, what we just talked about before. If they didn't, again, no worries, we then send a second text or email one day later that says, hi again, realize you haven't done this, no problem. Not really no problem, oftentimes they're trying to build urgency, but let's get that scheduled for you. Here's where you do it. Short and sweet, very quickly can take that action. Again, at that point, if they schedule the consult, great, you know which automation they go into. If not, unideal, but no problem. It might just be a matter of they're not ready yet. They're not really sure if it's like you're the right fit yet. We will often, at that point, they would have already been dropped into, but they are then just in your orbit. If you have an email or an automated text, or sorry, if you have an email or a text service, they're dropped there. Sometimes this isn't in here because we don't want to overcomplicate it, but sometimes we'll also just kind of do like a check-in series, just giving them some of the information they might need. It might be transformations, it might be testimonials, it might be what this could look like for you. That's besides the point, that's not in here, but just want to say like they will then fall into your orbit somehow to keep them in your world, keep warming them, keep giving them the information they need without you and your team having to manually check and be like, are you ready to buy? Now, just take a second and think about it. Like, I just went through, what was that? The confirmation, the first email reminder, the second email reminder, a potential nurture sequence that automatically happens that you don't have to think about. You're not writing all those emails over and over. You're not writing all those texts over and over. You're not checking to confirm, did they book? Did they not book? Why didn't they book? It's all automated for you. So again, that's just one person. Take that, scale that out by all the inquiries that are coming in. How much time does that save you? So for this video, to not overcomplicate it, that's just like one entry point and the initial automation that we traditionally start our clients on to just kind of show them it's not that scary. You still feel like you, and you start to actively, practically see how much time, effort, energy, and dollars, if you're paying a team to do this, that's saving you. For clients that sign on, we then kind of take that a step further and we build out the whole system. So in addition to that, that can look like post-consultation, post-appointment, post-treatment, like whatever industry you're in, check-ins, making sure everything went well, asking them for a Google review, a testimonial, reminding them when it's time to schedule your next appointment, because so many of our service-based clients, it's not just one and done. It's just kind of like, we'll see you every 3 months, or we'll see you once a week, or whatever the case may be. But reminding them, hey, it's time to start thinking about your next appointment, treatment, whatever. Let's get you scheduled, come back in. We'll also do what's called a win back series for clients that have gone MIA. So clients that you were working with and they might have fallen off the bandwagon, we'll kind of revive them after X amount of time. So it could be 3 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be, and give them an incentive to come back, be like, hey, we missed you. We'd love to see you in with us. Onboarding, offboarding, so many more things that we could do. And then remember, I mentioned at the top of the video, if you're like, oh, that's actually really cool, we have our copy and paste templates for emails and text messages in the description. Okay, so why this still works for you and feels like you comes down to a few things. Like I said at the beginning, this is intentionally designed so that you can take this exact flow, workflow, automation, and plug it into the systems, tools, programs that you're already using. So, for example, if you use Kartra, if you use Kajabi, if you use Flowdesk, if you use MailChimp, if you have a CRM that you like Zoho or HubSpot, you just take this, you plug it in. The second reason that this works so well for our clients is because not only were you just taking things off your plate, but we're taking off the mental load of like tracking everyone down, figuring out where they are, serving them with what they need. It's all automated and it all happens. And because it all continues to happen and you're not waiting for your team to do it, it means it's like absolutely getting done and it's getting done in the exact way you want it. So we see that conversion rates go up, both because of it just happening, A, and B, it happening in the style and in the way and at the frequency you expect it to. Along those lines, we see that it also helps eliminate no-shows because the system, the automation is constantly reminding, like, hey, reminder, countdown 24 hours, 1 hour, we'll see you in 20 minutes, whatever the case may be. You're staying top of mind, you're actively reminding them and then giving them exactly where to go when to make things easy to just show up, be there, be the star client you know they're going to be. You get to control everything. So you get to maybe start with what we have, or this was just enough to be like, okay, I get it. Like, and then this is how I'd want to say it. And you write it out as if you were writing the email because this is your business. This is your baby. These are your clients. It needs to feel like you in order to be effective and successful. So again, if you just take that and if you just say, okay, those are all the touch points and those are the timings of when Katie and Digitally Enhanced do this for their own clients, their customers, great. Like I can do that. Go ahead, do that. I love that for you. Like this is designed so that you can walk away with a clear plan of when this comes in, I do this, and this email goes at this point, and all of that fun stuff. If you're like, okay, it's starting to make sense, but like I don't really like want to write it, like as a reminder, we have the plug and play copy and paste templates. They're literally just $7. Grab them below. It's most of the workflows that I talk through. So it's things like the success booking, cart abandonment, asking for a Google review, reminding people to schedule their next appointment, all things that should really get you started and cover most of your bases. Oh, and it's also post-treatment / appointment follow-up as well. So 5 things. Have fun with it. Go put it into action. I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. If it did, make sure you subscribe because we're going to be creating more content like this. But I can't wait to see what this does for you.